north. And as far as I can see from court papers, it's $200 million. So
I saw that same figure, and it's always about the money. No matter what anybody says, it's always about the money. Paris Jackson, Michael Jackson's daughter, is currently tangling with the executors of the Jackson estate over finance. You know, this will always go on. Quite frankly, with the government shutdown, the problems that we have with the TSA security service, President Trump is sending in ICE agents to airports today to help and alleviate some of those extreme delays. People aren't getting paid. It is chaos in the airports right now. And that was in full display, in grotesque display last night, shortly after 11:30 p.m. local time. The Air Canada plane collided with a Port Authority vehicle that was on the ground. One of the air traffic control agents was caught on audio tape saying, "I messed up." There was the realization instantly that something terrible had happened. There were 41 passengers and crew injured. 9 of those significant injuries. And as you mentioned, both the pilot and the co-pilot were killed in this accident. If you look at that footage, it's shocking to see how the cockpit is disintegrated. He won 5 Primetime Emmy Awards, and in addition to winning a humanitarian Emmy Award. He was very well loved. So never, I think, in the history of show business has there been such a spectacular fall from grace.
Really is spectacular. Nelson, Aspen, thank you for your spectacular insight into it as well.
I've written some very adult books. I'm not afraid of the thoughtful use of some blue language, but I think it's sloppy and lazy to just randomly use it. My mother could curse with the best of them, but she used her words like weapons. She knew when she dropped an F-bomb, it was purposeful, so it meant more. And Mary would just kind of throw up her hands, give a shrug, and say, "That's showbiz." And those 2 words, I tell everybody, it doesn't matter if you're having a health problem, a career problem, a housing problem. I mean, it doesn't matter. If the biggest problem you have is a hangnail, that's a big problem. I mean, a problem's a problem. The best way to handle it is just to shrug your shoulders and say, "That's showbiz," and get on with it. I didn't know I wanted that award until I lost it 4 times. Then all of a sudden, I really, really wanted it.
Well, you got it now, and you get to put
I do. It's why actually, look, I keep it on my desk.
Look at that. Congratulations.
Because it's the shared communal experience. If you were watching it at home alone or with your spouse, it wouldn't be funny. You would get caught up in the story and the drama of it. And you've got some serious actors in there, like Patty Duke, like Lee Grant, even Martin Milner. And I've always loved Paul Burke. Paul Burke is one of the most underrated leading men of his generation. But back to him in a minute. But I think when you see it in a theatrical setting, it's the group experience that makes it funny, because there are lines that are campy or so dated or melodramatic that in a group situation, laughter elicits more laughter, which wouldn't happen at home. And she'd say, "Nelson, if you're going to write a book, you have to sell the book. You have to be relentless about promoting the book. What's the point of writing a book if no one reads it? You have to be willing to handle cash. You must always have copies in your bag and exchange them. You have to sell the book." She also said you have to put